This video is about music technology, but kind of indirectly, because really it's about my new book, Getting Started with Dorico 4.3. Now, if you're not aware, Steinberg's music notation software is called Dorico. It's been around for quite a while, but it's really only been in the last two versions, version 3 and version 4, that it's hit its stride. It's incredibly powerful, but with that also comes quite a lot of depth of knowledge that's needed. The full manual runs to about 1,700 plus pages of PDF, which is a massive learning curve, and it's not presented in a way where you would just start at the beginning and work through. That's where this book comes in. So the idea with this book is it takes you through all of the steps that you need to get up and running producing scores with Dorico. So you start out in the setup page, which is where you create players and give them instruments. You then move on to write, where you actually create the music. So then you move on to the engrave page, which is only part of Dorico Pro, but it allows you really fine control over the exact way everything is laid out on the page, and also allows you to add things such as title pages and graphics and text frames. There's then the play page, which is where the majority of the changes have happened since Dorico 3.5, and this gives you DAW-like control and a lot more than you had in version 3. Finally, there's print, where you output your music, whether that's to be on the printed page or as graphics files. In addition, guitar notation is covered in more depth, not because I'm a guitarist, but because there's a few areas you need to know in more depth to be able to produce good notation for guitars. And the same is also true for percussion, and I'm definitely not a drummer. In addition, the book has a couple of projects to get your teeth into, so it takes you through creating a couple of scores, one of which is a brass arrangement of the Star Spangled Banner, the other of which is a guitar study, so you can look at these techniques in a bit more detail. It's available for £14.95 from Amazon or the equivalent wherever you are in the world, and Amazon pretty much covers everywhere with their print on demand now, which is useful for me, hopefully useful for you. If you want to get started, Steinberg has a free version of Dorico, Dorico SE, which has a few feature limits, but it's enough to get you going, and then all you'll need is the book. Buy the book. Because of the way Dorico's developed, version 4.0 was fairly different from version 4.3, and a book written on it wouldn't have been much use to you as soon as things changed. Whereas now, this book is based on version 4.3, the version you'll download, which means what you see in the book will be the same as what you see on screen, and you'll be able to get up and running quicker. This is a question I get more than any other. The answer is no, but the reason is that having physical-only copies of the books provides some degree of copy protection. If there are electronic ones distributed, they would get distributed widely and torrented, etc. But on top of that, it would probably get re-uploaded to Amazon and compete against me, which would make even less sense. These books are a huge time investment in terms of production. I do everything from start to finish, and typically it takes between 12 and 18 months to get the time back in sales. So if that was to drop significantly, there's no way I'd be able to dedicate the time to producing the books, and I think that'd be a shame. So that's why electronic versions aren't available. It's really not an option to do this for two reasons. Firstly, because of the way that I work, because I'm not making notes on what I'm changing as I go. I just go through it and change things to the newest version of the software and then iterate on it again. So it would be a lot more work to make notes and make a separate book, and then you'd have the overhead of producing that. But much more than that, producing a physical copy of a book with only a few pages would mean that it would be nearly as expensive as the full book. I really appreciate your support, and if you're looking for a new version of the book and you've had a previous one of any of my books, then buying it again really is the best way to support production of future books, and I hope you find them valuable enough that you think they're worth that extra price. Let's be clear, this is not a completely new book. It's an updated version of the book which has the same function to get you started with Dorico. So the differences between the 3.5 version of the book and the 4.3 version really strongly follow what's changed in Dorico, which for me mainly is the play section. There's lots of little detailed changes and a few things that have altered their function here and there, and the book reflects this, but that's where the main changes are. So if you've bought a previous version of the book, it's probably not going to be great value for you to buy this, because I think you'll probably be in a position where you can deal with the changes yourself and spend time with the enormous PDF manual and get yourself up and running that way. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and the book is available at the link in the description from Amazon. If you do buy it, I hope you find it useful, and we'll see you again soon for more Music Tech Tuition. Bye.